live and direct on Clutch Sports Talk Radio on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. It's your boy, the host, Mr. Famous Fees. Hey, I'm live in the house with my man G-Pop. Say something to him.
This your boy G-Pop coming in from G-Poppy Sports, and we here with another one. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got a lot of stuff to cover. You know, as I promised, as we get closer to Christmas,
Oh yeah,
there'll be
holiday.
a little bit of basketball. Still not much. I was going to talk about basketball just a little bit, but then, you know, Drew Brees broke the passing record. Everybody is claiming Drew Brees is the GOAT.
He stole the highlight.
We got to update you on the upcoming the last 2 weeks of the NFL season. It's getting real. The race is getting serious.
Got to make that push.
Oh, absolutely. A little bit of Lamar Jackson action to talk about. I know y'all probably tired of hearing about it, but it's not an MVP conversation. Yeah, just a little updates, you know, some very friendly things that you probably didn't know.
Here to inform you. Better listen.
Absolutely. So, man, what I'm going to kick the show off with today, we watched the game last night. Everybody was there for the Monday Night Massacre.
Yeah.
The Saints ran through the Colts 34-7, but the game wasn't even really the highlight. The highlight was Drew Brees. Drew Brees was 29 for 30, 307 yards with 4 touchdowns. In addition to the fact that he passed Peyton Manning on the all-time list, so he went from third to first. He passed Brady and then he passed Manning for number 1 on the regular season touchdown list all time. And he also set the record for single game completion percentage. All in one clip.
Talking about a night for Drew. He put on a show.
I mean, at the end of the game, they interviewed him in the post game, and he was like, "Man, I just wish I had really planted my feet and could have executed that pass out in the flats to the running back." Because he was like, "Man, I should have been 30 for 30."
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been something? 30 for 30. It would have had a 30 for 30 special,
yeah,
for real.
absolutely.
Had to.
Oh, yeah. So, man, all of the talks now have gone from it's such an amazing accomplishment to now Drew Brees is the GOAT. It's like, whoa.
Just that quick, overnight.
Like, pump your brakes just a little bit. Drew Brees has had an amazing career. He's definitely top 10 all time.
Oh, yeah.
You might have him in the top 5. It's possible. But, I mean, as we run down the list, I mean, he's somewhere in the top 10.
Yeah. He in my top 10 for sure. You can put him in the top 5, but, you know, you got some quarterbacks you can argue with all day with it.
I don't know about the 5. But, you know, so there's a lot of people that just want to run down the list, so check it out. He's got the career passing yards record, regular season as well. Career passing touchdown record now. Career passing completions record. He's also got the highest career completion percentage, most consecutive games with a passing touchdown, most passing completions in a season, most 500 yard season, or 500, most 5,000 plus yard passing seasons. And he just recently got the completion percentage in a single game and tied the single game touchdown record. I mean, he's got some crazy records. He does have more records than that, but those are the notable ones. So, you know, Drew is doing his thing.
Yeah.
He holds record. He's definitely got a place in history.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to doubt that at all.
He changed that franchise.
But when we get to talking this GOAT conversation, I just don't understand how did he surpass so many people to start comparing him to Brady? It's like the comparison was to him and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
The Saints fans are already like, don't do it. I have to. I did this to Aaron Rodgers because you made me do it.
Yeah.
I like Aaron, I like Drew, but stop comparing these dudes to Tom.
Yeah.
This comparison was supposed to be between Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. Like, he hasn't passed Peyton Manning. How are you even talking about Tom?
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
Not even been a remote conversation about Drew Brees and Joe Montana. How are you passing by Peyton Manning and Joe Montana going straight to Brady?
Overnight. Literally.
We already dated that conversation.
Yeah.
So, you know, for the folks that are like, oh, okay, well, yeah, look at the numbers. Okay, we can look at the numbers. I gave you numbers now. Went on ahead and pulled all the stats for you. Got numbers for Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are, I mean, there are other guys that you'll add into this list. I mean, definitely people are going to throw the Dan Marinos in there and the John Elways, but for the sake of the conversation, these 5 quarterbacks are who we're going to use today. So, man, we got Tom Brady, out of the 5 of these, has the highest win percentage at 77.6% career. Drew Brees is last among the 5. He's 161 and 111 for career. He's 59%.
Yeah.
Joe Montana's at 71, Peyton Manning's at 70, and Aaron Rodgers is at 64. I mean, he's below the 5 for that.
We also gotta remember he was on some bad New Orleans Saint teams and them Charger teams. You know, he was just airing it out. It was just him just throwing it, and it just, you know, he had a lot of them bad stat games, but it added up at the end of the game. He had 300, 400 yards all real.
But even in reference to that, Drew Brees has more pass attempts than everybody, like a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
He's over 10,000 passing attempts, so you should have more yards.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 167 more pass attempts than Tom Brady and 3 more touchdowns.
He always been a throw it
But
quarterback.
Brady's played 10 more games.
Yeah.
Even though he's been in the league longer, he still only played 10 more games,
Mm-hmm.
and he's 3 touchdowns behind him. It's like, you put it in perspective, it's like, okay, like how long are you gonna hold this record? If you give Tom Brady 10 more games, and he'll pass you. But you could do that, because Tom Brady's played 10 more games in the playoffs. That's why the combined stats, Brady leads in everything.
Yeah.
In total yards, Drew Brees has 81,643, which, you know, they made a big thing about it when he went over 80,000, stopped the game. That was against the Redskins last year.
Last year on Monday night. Yeah.
What they also fail to actually ever recognize is the fact that Tom Brady has 85,258 yards and 611 touchdowns. Those records are actually Tom's.
Yeah.
They just don't really glorify it because I think they got sticker shock about talking about Brady like that in records. He already holds every postseason record there is, but those records we keep celebrating Drew Brees for, they're Tom's too. But as we slide on down this list, I mean, we already know Drew Brees is first in touchdowns. As far as completion percentage, he's first in that also.
Yeah.
QB rating. We all know Aaron Rodgers has the highest QB rating career ever, but as we look at what's their highest QB rating for a single season, it's like, all right, we won't just go career because people, like some of the guys started off where they were just kind of handed off doing their thing, but
the game different now.
the highest single season QB rating was also Aaron Rodgers at 122.5, and then next was Peyton Manning at 121.1, and then Joe Montana at 118.4, and then Tom Brady at 117.2, and then Drew Brees at 115.7.
So how he the GOAT?
Yeah, like you don't have the QB ratings, you have more passing attempts than everyone, which is definitely a direct result of these yards. The touchdowns will definitely be caught. It'll depend on how long, that's really gonna depend on who plays longer. If Brady outplays him for an extra season, then he'll pass him.
Yeah.
If they retire at the same time, then he likely won't catch him. But interceptions. Drew Brees has 237 of those.
Turnovers in general, yeah.
Tom Brady only has 178.
He done had some fumbles, I know it.
And this wasn't supposed to be a Brady Brees thing, but you guys kept doing it. You kept doing it, you kept wanting to make him the GOAT. I just wanted to talk about Drew's accomplishment and how great it was, and then y'all started this.
Yeah, we all got caught up in the moment. Well, people who said Drew Brees is the GOAT got caught up in the moment.
Pro Bowls, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning both tied at 14. Regular season MVPs, Peyton Manning kills that. He's got 5. Do you know Drew Brees doesn't have any? Like, not a single one? Everybody on this list has MVPs. Joe Montana has 2. Aaron Rodgers has 2, and he's played significantly less time than everyone else on the list. Brady has 3. Drew has not gotten a single MVP, and for the folks that think he's going to get MVP this year, you do remember he missed 5 games.
No, he's not getting MVP.
He missed 5 games, and they won all 5 on top of it. But even if they hadn't won the 5 games, that's not even relevant. He hasn't played enough games. He can't win MVP
He's not
this year. I don't care how
qualified.
good the season is, he's just not played enough games.
I
don't care what he does in the last 2 games, he's not getting MVP.
Yeah.
That's either going to be Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson, which is, at the moment, is
Lamar Jackson.
But that's still yet to be seen. He's got 2 more games against 2 division opponents, so that's greatly going to sway what actually happens there. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. We're still on Brady and Brees and the rest of them. Super Bowl MVPs. Brady's got 4 of those. Drew has 1. Brady has 6 Super Bowls to Drew's 1. Joe has 4 Super Bowls and 3 MVPs. Peyton Manning has 2-1. Aaron Rodgers has 1-1. I mean, Aaron Rodgers' stats line up a little more evenly.
Yeah.
It's not even fair to put Brady's numbers up next to Drew Brees.
Yeah, it's not really fair. It's not fair for both players, really.
But I mean, we can go on and move to the playoffs.
Yeah.
His playoff record is 8-7, barely over 500. Brady is 30-10,
So a lot of them years,
highest win percentage ever.
a lot of them years he wasn't in the playoffs. He just had yards.
75%.
Yeah.
Brady has 11,000 career passing yards in the playoffs with 73 touchdowns to Drew Brees' 4,700 with 33 touchdowns. So that's where those other 40 touchdowns come when you see how much higher Brady's touchdown pass total is
Yeah.
over Drew Brees, because he's got 73 more to add. That's why he's leading in everything. And you say, oh, he's played more games. It's like, yeah, that's the same thing for the regular season records on the other side.
Yeah.
Drew Brees has more attempts, so that's why he's got more. I mean, that kind of evens itself out. But then I've heard other arguments. The one that I kind of like the best. They're like, none of Brady's accomplishments count because of all the scandals.
No.
They go Spygate, they go Deflategate.
Trying to find anything to bring it down.
Somehow people have even deemed Tuck Rule as a scandal. Like, that was a call.
Yeah.
And it actually was in the rule books. Like, yeah, they can listen to the Tuck Rule. No, folks say none of that counts. So let's say, just for the sake of your argument, we're going to asterisk away all of Tom Brady's Super Bowls. None of them count, so he's got none. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to asterisk away Drew Brees' Super Bowl.
Bounty
We
Hunt.
forget that. Bounty Gate happened.
Yeah. Bounty Gate. Yeah.
Every time New England accomplishes anything, all we talk about is the scandals. Did we just completely erase Bounty Gate from the annals of history?
I
That was a
know.
3-season long thing, from 2009 to 2011.
Oh, I remember.
They were out there paying players to hurt people.
Yeah.
I mean, the sanctions and penalties that came behind it were way bigger than
Man.
anything that they've ever given to anyone else.
I remember they tore up Brett Favre one play, boy.
Head coach Sean Payton and defensive coordinator Greg Williams both got suspended for the entire year for 2012.
That was a wash here.
General manager Mike Loomis got half the season for 8 games. You lost your GM. The assistant coach was out for 6 games.
Well, players
Then
got
fined-
suspended, didn't
They
they?
fined him for $500,000 to the team and took away second-round draft picks for
Yeah.
2012 and 2013. But somehow we're going to act like that didn't happen, asterisk away everything New England's done. The only Super Bowl that he's got to his credit came behind the scandal. If you're going to make me own the scandals, then please, by all means, you step right on up.
And
'cause it's your turn.
if I remember correctly, a pick six won that game. If I'm not mistaken, I think.
Yeah, the pick six.
Yeah, I think it was
That
pick
was
six.
Porter.
Yeah, okay. That pick six won the
I
game.
vividly remember number 22 running down
Yeah,
that point.
gone.
Yeah. Pick six on old Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So, since we're bringing light to the scandals, let's look at what that actually did for Drew. During those 3 seasons, while Drew Brees was playing with the aid of everyone's best players being hurt and targeted, and his teammates getting paid for it, he went an astonishing 37-11. He was a whole 77% on the win percentage. Like, his win percentage was as high as Brady's during those 3 years. Won a Super Bowl and everything.
So what you saying is
4-2 in the playoffs in those 3 years.
you saying that scandal is the reason why they won the Super Bowl in his stats is the way it is, and what they did them 3 years is the scandal.
They're considerably better during those 3 years.
Okay.
And how much better? Like, I'm glad you asked. I already knew you wanted to know that.
Oh yeah, I just want to make it clear for the people.
The Drew Brees Saints minus those 3 seasons are 55%.
Yeah.
They're 124 and 100.
There was a lot of them losing seasons I was talking about.
55%, and they're 4-5 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So literally half of his playoff wins and his 1 Super Bowl all came from the Bounty Gate.
Oh, yeah.
But you're talking to me about an asterisk for Brady. If that's what we're gonna do, you can just erase Drew Brees out of the whole conversation.
And see, a lot of them years they had horrible defenses that gave up multiple points, and then when he get on the field, he throwing it three down every time. He throwing it. He
Yeah.
throwing it. That's all.
Those seasons with the
yeah.
5,000 plus yards.
It
Yeah.
added up. Yeah, I watched it. I know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if it tells the whole story. Like when they were 13-3
Yeah.
in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
all the Saints just came down in 2012. They went 7-9,
Yeah.
and then Sean Payton came back the next year and they went 11-5.
That when he threw 5,000 yards.
So he threw for 5,000 yards for four straight seasons.
Yeah, was that the first time of the photo when
No,
Sean
it's
Payton came
2011.
back? Okay.
That was the last year of Donnie Gate.
Okay.
Yeah. So then moving forward from there, though, they went 7-9 for 3 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just throwing
Don't.
because they were losing every week.
Yeah, giving up points.
They
Yeah.
were getting
They
blasted 'cause their
defense, yeah, it was
trash,
horrible.
so they were down every week.
And folks
So
was
that's
feeling
why
bad
he
for
throwing the
Drew.
ball so much.
Yeah. And it adds up 3 years later, 6 years later, the numbers come back to add. Them losing years, garbage numbers.
Right. So I mean, I say all that to say, leave this GOAT conversation alone. I know you didn't want to stir all that up. To my Saints fans, I'm gonna apologize to you. I don't have any beef with the Saints. I had to do it.
I'm a Panther fan.
Y'all
so-
cannot come for the crown and think that it's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
So before you open your mouth about this GOAT conversation between Breeze and Brady, which is absurd to even put their names together as if that's even a conversation, we're gonna just bounty gate erase you all the way out of this whole conversation. Because all of the accolades that you got are attached to that.
Yeah.
Since you're coming for me about Brady and all the what he's got going on, no MVP awards ever, and you've got the scandal attached to your one Super Bowl and only one appearance.
Mhm.
You only get there one time, and you talking about GOAT? Like, this prerequisite, you gotta have multiple Super Bowls to even get in this conversation. I mean,
Got to.
Peyton Manning should feel disrespected.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an invitation to this conversation because he doesn't have enough Super Bowls. But you gonna put Drew in there with one?
We had this conversation like a year or two ago. We all determined Tom is the GOAT. He's by far the GOAT. No quarterback has done what he's done on the field. He done been through what he done been through, came back and still won. But with Drew, I give Drew props, respect. He got heart of a line. For an undersized quarterback, he did what he did. He won Super Bowl. And, that's what most likely, I don't know about the second one, possibility, but, I give him respect, top 10 quarterback off rip, though, but to me, he's not the GOAT.
Drew did his thing, definitely top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there was another interesting little piece out there which really has nothing to do with the GOAT conversation. I just thought it was an interesting stat.
Yeah.
Just say playing in outdoor stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
That Brady has
Yeah.
played 260 games they actually combined Peyton Manning and Drew Brees to have played 263. He's played 3 less games than the two of them together and thrown 489 touchdowns to their 479.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know both of them struggled outdoors. Because both of them played almost their entire career indoors. I mean,
Yeah.
Drew started in San Diego, which was outdoor,
Mhm.
and then Peyton finished in Denver, which was outdoor.
Mhm.
But for the majority of their careers, they played indoors.
Indoor. In the playoffs, when they get cold and they have to travel, that's always the subject. Is you gonna be able to throw the ball in the cold? Is how they gonna play?
Yep.
And that do comes part of the play.
Yes, I mean, that's just an interesting little stat to put up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for you Drew Brees people, just stop it. Maybe another day.
I like what I'm seeing from Who Dat Nation though. I see y'all got Jackrabbit. I like that.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
not hating on the Saints at all. It
Yeah.
was just, you shouldn't have put
I
Drew
still
Brees in
think
the
it's a
MVP
curse.
conversation. Saints were good.
I still think it's a curse or something when y'all get in the playoff. I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all gotta figure that out.
Yeah, so I mean, a couple of little lighter points. If y'all just so happen to watch the Baltimore game, because I mean, that actually was a tough game, just like we thought.
Yeah.
Marcus Peters defended the pass on 4th and 8 with a minute left in the game, which basically iced the game because they nailed the ball after that and ran the clock out.
Yeah.
He knocked that pass down, kept running all the way out to the stands, jumped in the stands, and then he downed the Bud Light. One of the fans gave it to him when he jumped in the stands. I mean, I thought it was cool.
Man, that will happen when you winning and having fun.
For some odd reason, the NFL decided to fine him $14,000 for jumping out there and drinking a brew.
No
Come
fun
on, man.
league, NFL, no fun league.
It's like, yo, he just won the game. It was a tough game. Baltimore and Buffalo was giving them all they could handle. It was very close to going to overtime. He really was feeling
Yeah,
himself. I
having
mean, what's
fun.
wrong with him jumping out there and the fan gave him the brew? So he drank it.
He playing on the winning team. He was on the Rams early in the season. He wasn't doing that earlier, and he having fun. They let him have fun.
But the cool part about it though, Bud Light is offered to match it. They're gonna pay.
That's real. That's
They're
100.
like, man, all right, like they'll probably make a commercial out of that.
Oh yeah, that's love marketing right there.
Marcus Peters might end up being a
Sponsor.
spokesperson
Yeah, he might get a
for
sponsor
Bud
off
Light
it. Yeah.
behind that, just because he jumped out there and drank it.
That video gonna be the commercial, the first commercial.
Yeah, man. So hey, big ups to Bud Light for
Oh
doing
yeah,
that.
shout
That's
out to
what's up.
Bud.
So man, on my next guy,
What we talking about now?
Mr. Jackson, Lamar Jackson.
Action Jackson.
Before I get into the actual numbers that I want to give you, just gotta touch on a little point. Like I'm trying to figure out exactly why people are outraged that Lamar Jackson is being labeled a running quarterback. They're like, well, look at his passing yards and look at at these high passer ratings and QBRs. Like, hey,
He's
they
efficient.
are high because
low
he's
throws.
efficient, but he's not passing the ball very much.
It's about 20 throws a game. Less than that, some game. I've seen him throw for 15 passes.
Being labeled a passing quarterback is not a bad thing. It's working.
Yeah.
Why is that derogatory? He runs the ball more than anybody has in history.
Hmm.
He's got 159 carries right now.
He's a running back.
You
Playing
wanna put that in
quarterback.
perspective? The year that Mike Vick ran for 1,039 yards in the season, he had 123 carries.
Yeah.
Lamar has 159
Surpassed
carries
that
and
already.
2 more games to go.
Hmm.
I mean, the clip that he's carrying, he's probably going to end up somewhere around 180.
Yeah. You're gonna have running back attempts.
Yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. I don't understand why people are just up in arms about it.
I call it a through a threat quarterback. I don't call it no running quarterback. He
I
can
mean,
do both, you know.
There's lots of different tiers. I mean,
Yeah.
there's him as a running quarterback, which I would have described Kaepernick as a running quarterback when he was still in the league.
Yeah.
You go to the college ranks,
Nevada
say
day. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, definitely a running quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what he did last game against Baylor.
Hmm.
He had 24 pass attempts and 24 rush attempts.
Yeah.
That's a running quarterback.
Deshaun Watson, I think, threw a threat. You know, he
Yeah.
stay in the pocket, but he run when he have to.
Mobile quarterbacks, I give the Russell Wilson, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. They're pocket guys, but they
They
can
can-
run,
yeah.
but they don't look to run unless you force them out of the pocket.
Yeah.
And then they'll hurt you with their legs.
Yeah.
Clearly there are more, so I'm just giving a few examples.
Hmm.
But then I got, like you said, you called Deshaun Watson, I got Deshaun Watson as he's a tweener.
Yeah.
He's not really a pocket passer, nor is he a running
He look like
quarterback.
he between both.
Yeah. He does have a propensity to run a
Yeah,
little
he
more than
tips-
those
he
other
be
guys, but
tiptoeing.
he does throw the ball.
Yeah, you watching, he just tiptoe in the pocket, then he'll go if he don't see
He's
nothing.
extremely difficult to
Yeah.
cover.
Oh yeah. He's slippery.
Yeah.
For sure.
And he's really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, just watch the dude and be happy. Everybody want to be mad about everything.
As long as you winning, you
They
winning.
call him a running quarterback because he's a running quarterback. That's what he's doing.
least your
They're
team-
calling design runs for the man
Yeah.
at quarterback.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for anybody else.
Mm.
That's got to be, by definition, a running quarterback.
That's the definition of using your skill set. Use your positive.
Yeah.
Use what works for you. Your strengths, not the weaknesses.
So now, going down the stretch here for the Ravens, since we are talking about Lamar, we have to go back
Hmm.
to last season. Lamar took over in week 10
Yeah.
last year. Last year, he lost to Kansas City, where he had 67 rushing yards and no touchdowns.
Hmm.
Then they played the Chargers. They beat them 22-10. He only had 39 yards rushing in that game, but it wasn't necessary for him to run like that. But then they saw him again in the playoffs, and they lost 23-17.
They hit him with that whole new defensive scheme on him.
They also played Cleveland last season, and they beat them by 2 points.
Hmm.
I'm saying that to say, moving on into this year, they played Kansas City again, and they lost to them. Because Kansas City jumped up on them real quick,
Yeah.
and it was too much for him to come back. Because that pretty much took away the run. He only ran for 46 yards in that game.
Hmm.
You got to throw when you're down big.
You got to. You gotta make clutch throws.
Then they matched up with Cleveland for their second time playing Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland beat them 40-25 at Baltimore. They went in there and beat the brakes off
I
of
knew
him.
Cleveland was gonna be in.
He had 66 yards rushing in that game as he was forced to throw the ball.
Hmm.
So now what we're looking at moving forward, why those numbers are even relevant, since he's been the starter, he's played 4 teams 2 times. Well, at least twice. Of those 4 teams, 3 of them beat them, at least on the second time, that they were better prepared for what it was that they were actually going up against.
Hmm.
Cincinnati is the only team that hasn't managed a victory with Lamar at the helm and they've played a couple of nail biters. The
Yeah.
first time they beat them by 3, then, they got blasted the last time they played them 49-13. But the first 2 times, they beat them by 3 the first time and 6 the second time. So, there is something to actually being on field against him and seeing him and then getting to see him again.
Yeah, the experience.
So, what we're looking at moving forward, their last 2 games of the season are at Cleveland and versus Pittsburgh. That will be their 3rd time playing Cleveland and their 2nd time playing Pittsburgh. They beat Pittsburgh in overtime earlier this season. So those are definitely going to be 2 things to watch for.
Different
Is
Pittsburgh
what
team.
Cleveland does against them and what Pittsburgh does against them because they've seen them before.
Yeah.
They're division games, and it's not their first time playing against the speed, and both of them had success the last time they played them. So everybody's going to be watching. But we can take that even a step further. Because basically, the playoff picture, if it pans out the way it is now, Pittsburgh is going to get that 6 seed, Buffalo's going to get the 5 seed. Even if Buffalo wins out, or if Pittsburgh wins out and Buffalo loses, Buffalo has a tiebreaker because they just beat them.
Yeah.
So it's going to stay the way it is at 5 and 6.
Just about position and seed.
So Baltimore in the 1 seed, that means their first game will either be their 3rd time playing Pittsburgh, their 2nd matchup against Houston, or their 2nd matchup against Buffalo. They blasted Houston the first time, but that means they'll be actually ready for it. There won't be that sticker shock like, oh my God, he's so fast. It's like, all right, we know what it is, so we know what we need to do. Buffalo, they already just played like that was a dogfight. They do not want to play them again.
Yeah.
In 24-17, it'd be like Marcus Peters hadn't made that play, then that game easily could have been in overtime.
And when you show out all your tricks early in the season, it could always come back to haunt you in the playoffs. We already know what's gonna happen.
Right. So we'll assume that they win the divisional round game at home. They go to the AFC Championship game. They'll host the AFC Championship game, and then they'll see either New England for the 2nd time or Kansas City for the 3rd time, who they've actually never beaten since Lamar has taken over. Every single game that Baltimore plays from this point forward is going to be versus a team that's either playing them for the 2nd or 3rd time. None of them are going to have the wow factor of how fast he is. They're all actually working on game plans to stop it that consist of them looking over game tape of their own defense against it
And their own
and
mistakes.
what they can do to plug it. So everybody's giving Baltimore a Super Bowl. Like, I need you to pump your brakes just a little bit.
That and the help of the advanced scout.
Oh man, yeah. Everybody has an advanced scout, just for the record. People think that those positions only exist in New England. Man, so Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
I don't even want.
I didn't even want to talk about it yesterday,
Josh Gordon got suspended indefinitely for PEDs.
Again.
I don't even know why they called it indefinitely. He's out of the league. There's no way Josh is getting back on that field.
Yeah.
As many chances as he's been given, I figured that it was almost like I was surprised they let him back after he left New England and came back.
Yeah.
He's definitely not getting back again.
Nah, and this has been going on not just like 1 or 2 years. This is like 3, 4, 5 years going.
Yeah.
This is like a problem. This is more than football at this point. He just needs to get himself together and get some help or something.
But being up in Seattle, the only way I can give him a pass is because of their past.
Yeah.
They had 5 players suspended for PEDs between 2012 and 2013.
Yeah.
You'll recall that was when they went to the NFC Championship game and lost, and then the next season went to the Super Bowl and won. So it may not have actually been Josh Gordon taking PEDs. He's up there with a staff that might have given him something that was banned by the league and really just set him up for failure.
Could be
They're
a
never going to
possibility.
admit that if that's what happened. I'm not saying that is what happened, but it's definitely possible given the history of the Seattle Seahawks. That's what they take a lot of, they juice up there.
Yeah.
Nobody discredits the Legion of Boom either for that.
And their history with his history indefinitely. Indefinitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be a cover up, could be something deeper than what we know at this point. But only time gonna tell us what's really going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hope.
I hope
we get
Seattle
back.
didn't do that to him,
Yeah.
just because that'd be so foul.
Oh, that would be dirty.
It's like, well, I hope for Seattle's sake that they didn't do it, but for Josh's sake, I actually hope that that is what happened and he didn't actually do that.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was rooting against the guy, but
Nah.
good God.
Yeah, the journey, you done came a long way, and for this to happen again, it's just like,
But I mean, it makes sense.
yeah.
He was on IR.
Yeah.
New England put him on IR and got rid of him,
Mm-hmm.
and then they picked him up, and all of a sudden he's healthy. He hasn't been killing it in Seattle by any means, but he's been healthy enough to be out there playing, and he'll make the catch here or there.
Yeah, you hear his name about 1 or 2 times a game.
He wasn't available in New England, and all of a sudden he got extra healthy when he went out to Seattle. So it's like, I don't know if he did that or Seattle was like, yeah, we'll fix him.
Yeah.
But they might have just set him up for failure, like his final failure.
Mm-hmm.
If they did that, they need to pay his family money under the
Yeah, they
table
need
or
to
something.
start they sell.
Need to put together a trust fund in his name.
Yeah, he got a family to feed and all that. Can't be messing their career up.
Like if you don't want to come forward and admit it because of what it'll do to your team, you need to look out for that man on the backside.
Yeah.
That's the least they can do.
Yeah, the least you can do. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be like that, if you wanna try to save yourself.
Yep. Goodness.
NFL for you, boy.
It is, man. So that's why we. Oh man, okay. I'm gonna have to go to the NBA. I told you I was gonna wait till Christmas because we will be on next Tuesday on Christmas Eve.
Hey, we up in here.
So we'll talk about the Christmas matchups that day.
Promo vid.
For today, we'll just briefly cover what it's looking like. I mean, for everybody, and that everybody includes me.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely didn't see the Lakers coming out playing like this. 24-3.
Hey.
They out there balling, and it looked like they having fun.
LeBron, AD, Dwight, all them boy, Rondo, it looking like Showtime.
They're all so long.
The defense is crazy.
I mean, how are you getting shots up over Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis and LeBron? It's like, man, there's 4 shot blockers in the game.
And then you got Danny Green and them boy, Avery Bradley. You got defensive snipers out there, you know, and 3-point special. You know, got a team. It's definitely a good team they got.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're looking now is like they'll breeze through the rest of the season. The only thing that I can really just urge them about is the fact that most of those dudes are not spring chickens.
Yeah.
No, nobody's a fan of the load management because of the 28 games, Kawhi's already missed 8 of them.
You heard what LeBron said earlier. He ain't a fan of it either.
He did just completely steal that quote from Kobe.
The song
If you'll
Kobe
go
was
back,
like,
to the, I can't remember exactly what year it was when they interviewed him and he talked about it, but it was somewhere between 08 and like 2011 when they went on that second run and he had all those like broken
injuries,
fingers and the knee and everything else and he played through everything.
Still playing.
He literally came out and made the same statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, these people spend their hard-earned money to come to these games.
Yeah.
Like, they're taking off work and driving out here and bringing their kids to their one time and they're coming to see me. So if I'm able to play, I'm gonna play.
That when the Spurs was out there, the Spurs really started the load management. You know, load management just spread it everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not giving them credit for that statement. It was a good statement. People are like, that was just awesome to say it. It's like, you did steal that, but.
Cause if you would have said he loved load management to support it, oh man, the whole world have been on LeBron about that.
Well, I mean, he took rest games off before he came to LA. So it's like, all right, I guess you changed your mind.
Yeah.
Because that was something that you used to do.
Yeah, got to. Or something got to.
But the Clippers are sitting in second place, which is actually surprising considering Kawhi is missing so many games and Paul George was out from the beginning of the season.
Lou Williams is balling.
He is.
Lou should be an all-star. I don't care nobody say he should be an all-star.
He most likely will be.
He should be.
I think the shocker right now is the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting at 18-8 in third place. I mean, I talked about them briefly in the offseason when we were making predictions, just running down who was going to be who in the West. I mean, I had them fighting for like a 7-8 seed because there was potential.
They got
Didn't really think it would end up being that much potential. They look really good.
Luka on a whole nother level.
Luka is out there. I mean, Luka's definitely a candidate for MVP.
Luka balling so hard, they got the Hawks and fans in the NBA thinking, dang, the Hawks should have took Luka instead of Trey.
I mean, that's kind of subjective.
Yeah, it's very
fits
subjective. Yeah. Both teams fit perfectly what they have, but you know, that's how.
I don't think Trey would fit in Dallas just so much as Luka would not fit in Atlanta the way they do.
But it's just how hard he balling. It's like, man, Luka, he balling. But he
Yeah, I mean,
he just
Trey-
suffered that ankle injury too.
Trey's
So
numbers are very comparable to Luka's.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like Luka's killing it and Trey is out there.
yeah, it's just they not
balling.
winning games. That's
Yeah,
the
like,
only difference with the
Luka's
Hawks.
averaging 29 and basically 29 and 9 with 29 points, 8.9 assists.
Yeah.
Trey is averaging 27.8
Right
points
behind
and
him.
8.5 assists. He's literally right behind him in each
Yeah,
category.
if they were just winning games, he'd be
Yeah.
up there with him. Cause he was out there the start of the season. He was balling. He had averaging 38.
Luka's got a better team with him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The Hawks,
Yeah.
John Collins got suspended, kind of screwed everything up.
Yeah, like the Hawks are still kind of up and coming. They got a lot of nice young talent,
Yeah.
but they're not quite
still-
there.
yeah,
They
they
don't
still
have the
missing
pieces
something.
together like the Mavericks do.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not even fair to do that.
Yeah,
Hey, the Houston Rockets have kind of been hot and cold. I mean, James Harden has been murdering people, but
yeah.
they're on the 5th spot, so I mean, they're still in good position. I mean,
I like where they at.
we're only a third of the way through the season,
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly why I have not been talking about basketball for the past 2 months.
Oh, I've been
Because
on
they
it.
have not played they've not played enough games.
Yeah, it's still early. It's still a lot going on.
Like, all of this thing is gonna change. I mean, no, but who called the Sacramento Kings being in the 7th spot and OKC at 8?
But I will tell you one thing. That boy Greek Freak hungry. He trying to get that MVP again, and he trying to get that championship. He playing, but I thought he was ready last year, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people are already giving
Hey.
Greek Freak the MVP
Hey.
at this moment, but I'm like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, we're gonna have
Like,
subjective
they have the second
arguments.
best record in the league. I mean, there's not much separation between anybody at the moment.
Yeah,
There's way too many games left for the record to actually come into play. So
Mhm.
now you're just looking at stats. Like, yeah, he is killing it.
yeah, getting it.
He's at 31, 5, and 12.
But-
I mean, he's killing. With a
But that's the
34
NBA
VAR.
now. Stats is ridiculous. Well, people killing it. You got at least 20 folks killing it, just putting
It's
up
like,
dumb
how are you
numbers.
just gonna just hands down give him the MVP
Yeah.
when James Harden is averaging 39 points a game
James right behind
and
him.
7 assists
LeBron right
and
there.
6 rebounds?
Mhm.
Like, Harden is hooping
Yeah, Harden is probably
with
the
a
best scorer.
31.69 player efficiency rating. So it's not like he's just hoisting them up and turning the ball over because people are like,
Like-
he doesn't play any defense. He's 5th in the league in steals.
Like pure score wise, him and
Yeah.
KD up there, but James he just do it all, and he big. He not no small guy. He got some size
Yeah, I
on him.
mean, he's like 6'5",
Yeah,
like, he's almost like a fat boy.
Yeah.
He's built weird.
Yeah, he got
weighs
he got
a
a
lot.
weird build.
He weighs a whole lot. When he runs into you, you're moving.
yeah, you gonna feel it
You're
for
not
sure.
just eating that impact.
For sure.
But man, even like Luka needs consideration.
Oh yeah, got those.
29.3 points per game, 9 assists, and 9.6 rebounds per game. Like, he's almost averaging a triple double in his second season, and his player efficiency rating is a 32.03.
Yeah.
So he's right up
He
there.
just gotta get right from that ankle. I'm mad he got that ankle injury. They playing some tough games too, so hopefully they can. KP gonna have to step it up too. This is time for KP to get himself right. He can get loose, and then when Luka come back, the duo really get started because they ain't touched their surface where they need to be at. But it's coming.
Yeah, so I mean, what I'm expecting to see moving forward, I think the Houston Rockets are gonna make a surge
Yeah.
as they get more comfortable playing together, and James Harden keeps playing the way he's playing. As soon as Westbrook gets his scoring together,
Yeah.
so,
It's gonna take some time.
at some point of every season, Westbrook goes on a tear.
Yeah, it's coming. I don't give about the All-Star. He gonna
When
go
he
off.
does it, and then you start getting games where Harden goes for 50 and Westbrook for 35, and it's like, oh my God,
And I-
there's no way to stop
And I
this.
think what Russ finally knows he ain't gotta do it by himself.
No.
He got somebody to go
He's
50, 60.
completely deferred.
Yeah. So, I feel like he's saving himself and pacing himself at the same time. Because when it comes to playoff, hey.
What Russ has done is given that team a defensive injection. He's got so much intensity that now all of a sudden Houston plays defense that
Yeah.
they never had before.
And that boy CP3 doing the little thing at OKC, It
Yeah,
look like it
they-
worked both ways,
they look alright.
Yeah.
But CP3 wasn't working out okay.
Nah,
His personality
nah,
was just too much.
it wasn't too fit. He was too old for him. If it was a young CP3, I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, with these last 10 minutes, let me shift gears right back to the NFL, because we got a quick recap on those games that we watched on this past weekend, and then we got some nice ones coming up. Alright, so I mean, we all watched the Ravens run through the Jets. Really, the only headline to that, Lamar threw for 5 touchdowns. So I mean, he kills some stats.
Mo MVP were hype.
Yeah. 15 to 23, 212 yards. It's funny though.
He 23
But
attempts.
the exact same stat line as Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
He was also 15 to 23 for 212 yards.
Ain't that something?
But the headline on that game was Zeke and Pollard killed it.
Tony.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of figured it out, man. I absolutely didn't see Dallas beating the Rams 44 to 21.
Yeah,
They destroyed the
I
Rams.
took Rams in the pick 'em and I was sick.
Yeah. I mean, this was the Dallas team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl
Yeah.
early on in the season, and I've been struggling trying to stick with every week moving forward, even though I did switch my pick to the Saints last week.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I picked both of them to lose to the Patriots, so whatever.
But you see the Cowboys, they'll do this. You see how Dak only threw for 23 and they ran the ball. And that week they'll come out, Dak done do it 49, 50 times. And it's
Dak
a whole,
throws for all of it. When he
Yeah.
throws for that much, they don't win.
They
Dak's
don't
about
win.
to set the Dallas Cowboy passing yards record for a single season.
that shouldn't even have happened.
Yeah.
It should be a balance. When they balance the attack, that's when they best. They don't know how to balance it. It's either they passing too much, or they not running enough, or they running too much, and then trying to pass at the last minute.
Yeah, man. Then we had that crazy game. The Falcons and the 49ers.
Man.
Why the 49ers
Sam.
let the Falcons hang around in that game for so long is beyond me.
San Fran
that
let
was San
us
Francisco's
down.
fault.
Yeah.
Then you let them drive down the field and score the game-winning touchdown twice.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I thought they might have given Austin Hooper that catch. I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was iffy. I mean, the
I
ball
thought it
did
was
touch
catch.
the ground, but he had a vice grip on it.
Yeah.
He definitely had control of it when it touched the ground, but I
Mhm.
guess it's because it moved when he rolled over.
Mhm.
If he had gotten the other hand on it and it had never moved, then Hooper would have got the touchdown.
Yeah.
But they came back the next play and Julio got it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Julio.
2 plays later.
Julio showed out that game.
Yeah, he did. It was finally a Julio game.
Finally.
And then to make matters even worse, San Francisco would try to go for the Music City Miracle
Hey.
and throw the ball backwards and fumble it into the end zone to give the Falcons the 2 fastest scorers in NFL history. 2
talking about-
touchdowns in 2 seconds.
He already hurt because he took San Fran with the point. I took San Fran with the point. Then he took the under. He did lost on that last play because San Fran tried to do too much. So it's crazy. But I looked at the game. I feel like they ain't running enough. When Jimmy, it's just like what we just said. When some of these teams throwing it too much, they not winning. It's not balanced. You got to run the ball. They ain't get the run game going. Jimmy G was trying to throw it. It was too late. Julio and Matt Ryan were doing their thing. Austin Hooper, who will be getting paid, did all season, doing their thing as well.
Yep, and another knockout dragout game, Buffalo versus Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Just like we were saying last week, I did pick Pittsburgh to win the game,
I took
but
Pittsburgh.
they're like the same team.
It was a pickle game.
Both teams have a really good defense and have trouble scoring.
You don't know who playing on offense.
And that one came all the way down to the
Yeah.
wire.
I give,
Pittsburgh had many chances to
Mhm.
tie that game up and just could not do it.
gotta give Buffalo some credit, man. I
Yeah,
gotta
that
give
defense
Buffalo.
stepped up when
That
it counted.
defense, yeah.
Yeah,
That defense nasty.
yeah, man. So moving forward, like, that Buffalo over Pitt basically just solidified the fact that Buffalo's keeping that 5 spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they can manage to beat New England, I'm not sure which comes first in the tiebreaker scenario, because they would have split games at that point.
Yeah.
New England losing to Buffalo would also give Buffalo a better in-conference record,
Mm-hmm.
which would then give Buffalo the division to send New England to the wild card.
Yeah.
Because both teams have clinched. Buffalo is officially in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's big ups to them for that. Then the
Shout out
Philadelphia
Buffalo.
Eagles decided to win another game just so they wanted to. This almost like this. The NFC East is like a WWE storyline.
They spread it the game too. I ain't never seen a
They're
game like
both
that.
7-7. Coming into this week, it is a showdown. Dallas versus Philly on Sunday at 4:25 p.m. at Philly. This
Mhm.
game is for the division.
For the division league. And it seems like they have it every year in the division. It's crazy.
Yeah. You don't even know what to make of it.
You know.
I'm gonna take Dallas.
Toss up, yeah.
I don't trust Philly. You know, Philly, sometimes they show up and then they just surprise you, but I don't trust them.
I'm
Dallas is
surprised
gonna
they
make the
beat
playoffs.
Washington.
They're gonna make the playoffs and they're
Yeah.
gonna host somebody. They're
Yeah.
gonna host somebody with a much better record than them.
If
which
they
is
if they
nuts.
play how they played the Rams in the playoffs and how they play this Sunday, okay, they'll do something. But
Oh
they
yeah,
got to do that, you know.
absolutely.
Dallas too inconsistent for me, but it's
And since college football is gone, we now have Saturday NFL.
yes,
Lovely.
sir.
3 games on Saturday.
Mm.
Start at 1 o'clock. Houston at Tampa Bay. That's a tough game.
That's gonna be high scoring.
I would normally just say, yeah, like Houston's way better than Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay has been running the score up.
I think Jameis gonna screw it up this week. He ain't gonna keep it hot too long. You know, he played good a couple of games, then he'll screw up. So I think it's gonna be his moving to screw up. I think Houston gonna keep their momentum rolling.
I don't know. I'm feeling like Tampa Bay.
But it's gonna be a high scoring game. There's gonna be some points put up though.
Just because of where Houston sits, Tampa Bay is going to take them out, and that's going to open the door for Tennessee.
Right again, yeah.
Well, I mean, Tennessee has another big problem on their hands, though. They got New Orleans this week. So that's a problem. But the second game on Saturday is Buffalo at New England. That's going to be another low-scoring affair, just like the Buffalo Ravens game, just like the Buffalo-Pittsburgh game.
Low scoring.
The last time they played New England, it was 16-10. Buffalo is very well, that's what they do. They play games that are very close, drag-out games.
Dragging it all the way out to the fourth quarter, giving them a chance to win.
But, I mean, New England's defense is enough to beat Buffalo. Just like
Stephon
what we
Gilmore.
watched. Gilmore literally beat Cincinnati.
Stephon Gilmore, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm gonna say it again. I said it some months ago. Gonna say it again.
He should be the Defensive Player of the Year. I hope he doesn't get it so he have a chip on his shoulder.
Hey, that's real coming from a fan. Yeah.
And the Saturday night game is the Rams at the 49ers. If the same Rams team shows up that played against Dallas, then you can just cancel that. That's a wash. And San Francisco, they're reeling. I mean, they've dropped all the way into 5th place.
Yeah, they can't cakewalk this game. San Fran got to come in here
They
and
got the
take
Rams
care
and
of
then the
business.
Seahawks to finish. They
Yeah.
have to win this game. So I think San Francisco's going to come out with a sense of urgency, and they'll probably smack the Rams too.
They done had their whole miracle season just end up
Oh, yeah.
in the wild card last 2-3 games. It's amazing how it works like that. That would mean every game counts.
Got Jacksonville at Atlanta Sunday at 1 o'clock. Jacksonville,
Duval, shout out to Duval.
Jacksonville and Atlanta are both difficult teams to pick.
He used to live out there. Yeah, that's
Nobody
different
saw
game.
Atlanta beating San Francisco, and now everybody's gonna pick Atlanta as. I think this will be my first time picking Atlanta since week 8.
Atlanta with the win.
But I'm gonna take the Falcons, and they're probably gonna fail me.
Devontae Freeman back in
Whatever
Florida
I
gonna
pick,
run
they
it.
decide to lose.
Oh,
Yep, so we got
I'm going
Baltimore at Cleveland, just like I talked about earlier on in the show. That's
oh.
going to be an interesting matchup. The line is probably high. I haven't checked it yet.
Mm-mm.
But they're at Cleveland. Cleveland already beat them at Baltimore. They're very comfortable with what it is that Lamar brings to the table. So I expect, with all the turmoil in Cleveland and all the players asking people to come get me, and Freddie Kitchens' his job on the line,
Freddie gonna be fired.
and Baker Mayfield, he's actually been quiet. Well, no, he hasn't been quiet. He threw the training staff under the bus. Talking about OBJ. So yeah, but I think Cleveland is going to bring it together here and make it a really close game. I thought I was going to actually pick Cleveland. Cleveland's not going to beat Baltimore, but it's going to be really close.
Before they said couldn't get me, I would have said Cleveland would have said, but nah, Baltimore gonna win. It's gonna be close though. Don't be surprised if Cleveland can jump out on them in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a much tighter game. I would,
Yeah.
if you want to bet on it, take
Hey.
Cleveland with the points.
Okay, you taking Cleveland with a point,
I
right?
would take Cleveland with the points, but Baltimore's going to win the game.
I'll switch on another game. I ain't even gonna fool around with that game. I'm playing something else.
All right, we got Pittsburgh at the Jets. They should be able to run through them, but as the Jets usually do, they pick and choose when they want to
Yeah.
play.
They ain't gonna be low scoring.
I think this is going to be a Sam Darnold game.
Yep.
They got blasted by Baltimore last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think Darnold shows up. Le'Veon Bell is going to ball out against his old team. I think the Jets are going to beat them.
Le'Veon Bell is.
The Jets will beat the Steelers, and the Steelers will still make the playoffs because Tennessee's going to lose to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So and Buffalo will lose. All three teams that are sitting in the wild card race are going to lose, and nobody's going to lose any ground.
So saying there's nothing happening this week, basically.
Yeah.
Saying stand
Nothing
still.
happens down there. Nope.
Okay, stand still.
That's where I see that.
Okay.
Who else we got? Green Bay at Minnesota. That's kind of a tough matchup.
That's a tricky.
Minnesota, it seems like they've finally figured out how to play big games. Minnesota has a better team than Green Bay.
Yeah, they do.
Green
I
Bay has
think
been
they're a better
winning
complete
ugly
team.
games, but I'm going to go against my better judgment of taking Aaron. I'm taking Minnesota. Minnesota's going to win Monday night.
I'm going with Green Bay. Aaron Jones is going to continue running the ball. Because Aaron Rodgers ain't Aaron Rodgers right now.
No, so I think Aaron Rodgers is going to lose this game. He's under 500 on the road,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows. When he goes on the road, he doesn't play well. Minnesota normally doesn't play well in prime time, but they've kind of gotten rid of that.
Mhm.
I think Kirk Cousins has a big game. Dalvin Cook will go off.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers
hopefully
will have a
Dalvin be
pedestrian
healthy to
game,
play though.
and Minnesota will win.
Okay.
So man, that's what. I always have so much more to say, but the time has just run out so
Time
quick
go by
on us today.
quick. 49 minutes go by so quick.
I appreciate everybody for tuning in today.
Oh yeah.
It's been another wonderful show. I will be back next week for Christmas Eve. So make sure
Holidays.
you tune in. We'll talk about the Christmas Day games. Make some picks on that.
Holiday special.
And the bowl games will start. So we'll actually have a little bit more college to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so hey, man, G-Pat, tell them how to find you.
G Pappy Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and now TikTok. I'm on TikTok now.
Okay, he jumped on TikTok. Y'all know what it is. It's Famous Fees, Facebook, Instagram. You can follow me on YouTube. Make sure y'all stay tuned on Hits 92.3 for He Say, She Say with PJ. Appreciate y'all for tuning in one more time.
We outie. Support.